Hey there, guys. It's Charjr Ryuki, and if I could find it, I got paddle. I dropped it. Yeah, I got paddle. You don't know how many stupid jokes I came up with this damn thing. I apologize for saying curse word. Um, I've made so many jokes with this little small mini paddle. This little thing. I've made so many jokes that it's one of those brotherly things, even though I'm the oldest, or I should say second oldest, but um, not being able to go down and see my sister all the time. I went down to Kansas City. Obviously, I'm back. If you guys managed to see the other videos in the vlog that you should have seen with Gambit gameplay Friday right before I left, that for some darn reason wouldn't upload. So if you guys want to see some Gambit gameplay from yours truly, go check out the update vlog part 3. Um, if it's not already apparent that I'll be playing Destiny 2 Forsaken, part 1's already uploaded. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of my good friend Bobby sometime today, if not tomorrow, to do the video or the live stream or whatever. Going back to this, me and my sister, for things to do, we she Friday we went to the yard barn. I think I've already mentioned that in one vlog. And then we went to go see The Nun. The Nun, I even did a review on it while I was in my hotel room. And then I did a vlog right afterwards. So go check that out. Charjr Ryuki's Reviews on Fire. Go check out my Nun, my review of the Nun review. To me, for you guys want my opinion for the viewers here on this channel, The Nun has good atmosphere. It's a good horror movie done like it should. Like horror movies should be done. Revealing the monster in horror movies right away isn't really a good thing. You gotta build up the atmosphere. And that's what they did with this movie, and that's why this movie was so darn good. In my opinion, it was really well made. And after that, we basically just walked around Legends. And Legends is you got movie theater, you got Dave and Buster's, you got games, you got GameStop, you got all these places. And she pointed out GameStop at me, and I was like, if I go in GameStop, you're not gonna get me out of it, because I'll be looking for deals, I'll be looking for games, I'll be looking for the older games, because I think Pokemon Mystery Dungeons was one of the older games I found in that particular GameStop. That's also the very same place I got Fire Red as well, the remake of the red, blue, and yellow games. And I should say green, because red and green came out before everything else. But I'm waving a paddle around because I can, and I got a paddle, so deal with it, or I'll paddle you. No. It's from Bass Pro. It's not sponsored by Bass Pro, but we were walking through Bass Pro Saturday, I think. I think like Saturday. I'm gonna put the paddle away for just a second, so I can switch hands, because I'm not using a camera stand or whatever to hold the camera. I'm just holding onto it, which you guys should tell about the obvious angle that I'm holding it. We went to Bass Pro Shops. We went to, what other place did we go to? We ended up going to Starbucks, but I'm not a fan of coffee. I don't drink coffee. I got a big bottle of water though. That was fun. Sad thing was that Starbucks is very expensive. My sister got one of them, like a Frankenstein style latte, and I got the bottle of water, and apparently that's $8 for just two things. Really, that's really expensive. Um, but when I got the paddle, I dropped it again. Um, when I got the paddle, I was walking through Bass Pro Shops, and my sister was following me, and I think she was dealing with like a cold or dealing with something, and she really she was, she got a little bit tired because apparently I shopped too fast. I am in and around a store in like the first 5 minutes of entering the building, or the first few minutes, I should say. So it's like Walmart. I could find just about anything in Walmart. You tell me what you're looking for, and I could find it. So, especially in Bass Pro Shops, I can, even if I don't go in there all the time, I could practically find anything that I want, and like in Cabela's as well. But there, I was walking around, and then something just took my eye, caught my eye, and I was like, oh, it's a paddle! Oh, I got my paddle! I was making so many paddle jokes, puns. So it was so stupid that I was driving my sister up the wall. She was getting, I hate that fucking paddle. She was like, that was her thing. She was like, I hate that flipping paddle. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Put the freaking paddle down. I'm in the car as well, and I'm waving the paddle around, acting like an idiot. That's obvious. That's why I'm talking about it. It's stupid funny. And it was just driving my sister up the wall. And it's one of those brotherly things that I mentioned earlier at the start of this video, that you end up happening to do things that you don't normally do, and it's something that you want to cherish and remember, especially if you don't get to see them all the time. So being able to go back like I was years ago when I was living at home, being able to take the opportunity to catch my brother and sister off guard and annoy the living heck out of them, and catch them when they're doing something stupid and bring it up and all this stuff. It's just one of those brotherly things. It's you just those sibling things that you just want to cherish. And it was a lot of fun. And going down there, the yard barn is expensive. It was like for two people for what we were eating. It costed like, especially with the appetizer, it costed $61, which is actually pretty reasonable. Then, like Saturday as well. Again, that we went from Bass Pro Shops, or we went to the Renaissance Festival actually first. She was actually late because she was doing doing the hair of one of her friends, so she was late. So I was just chilling in the hotel room, had some breakfast. The only thing that I had a problem with the breakfast part of this hotel that I was at, that I was staying, it had no bacon. If you're having breakfast, you must have bacon. How can you not miss that? You gotta have bacon if you're gonna have breakfast. So, don't make me get the paddle! Dang it! And, we were, paddle. We went walking through the Renaissance Festival. And from what I remember back then, when I first went there, everybody was more interactive. Everybody that was there was more interactive. They were talking to you. They were asking you questions, or what you like, or what this and that. And they were doing everything they could to help you. This time going down there, it was blah. It wasn't as interesting as it was years ago. It's just how sad things changes. Just like WWE. It was entertaining before, now it's a piece of crap. And also like how YouTube was. YouTube was great, now it's a piece of crap. And it needs competitors really, really bad. How it was the first thing that we ended up walking to, is like we did grab a map, and I was giving my sister and a roommate, because I met a roommate there, a lot of hell for not grabbing a map. And I was basically the new guy, the visitor, So it's like, why the hell would I grab a map, right? Now I got some crap for not grabbing the map either, but the Fire of the Light performance that we watched, we ended up talking about it later on when we were on our way back from Dave and Buster's as like a conversation thing. But it was entertaining, but yet really cheesy, really dumb. Um, they had a girl there whose belly dancing wasn't that bad. Yeah, she was cute, but she spent the entire time of the preparation for this bent over. So you could see pretty much everything, cleavage and all. You can see it. And if she moved one wrong way, man, those things are coming out. But they had a guy who, a younger guy, was probably around the same age as the girl is, was really arrogant, I guess you could say, and really annoying. The older guy, who was the fire breather, was quite entertaining, despite being a little awkward, but that was the part of his entertainment, or how he did things, his character, was to be a little bit awkward but entertaining. And that's what, because we kind of did it like this, like who did the best, what rating would be the best. And I would say the elder gentleman first, and then the girl, and then the guy. And to be honest, my sister and her roommate really agreed with me. And so on and so forth. Everything there is really expensive. They had two places where you could buy weapons, buy swords, even the oldest weapons that were, I guess, remade, that were used back then. And I guess they also sold some guns as well, because one of the places that sold both swords and other weapons also sold guns. But everything was so expensive, and judging by the metalwork and the steel, because you guys know I buy swords, and I do my darndest to find the best places and the best prices for, and buy what the money is actually worth, which could be far more. Like it's like, you know. So I'm very, when it comes to buying swords, I'm picky. You could basically say that. But when it comes to swords, I'm picky. And it's like, if I'm gonna buy this sword for $450, it's better, it better be worth it. It better have the correct weight. It better be like to have the correct steel. The steel has to be good. It can't break after a few hits. It's got to be, it's got to be durable. It's got to be strong. It's got to be willing to cut things. All this and that. It's got to be worth that money. It's got to be worth $450. A lot of the swords that I actually have might seem to be worth a lot more than what I paid for them, but yet they're also worth the money. And the food wasn't bad, but here's the thing. The biggest thing at the Renaissance Festival, besides going to all the places, was the turkey legs. They ran out of turkey legs when we were there, so we couldn't get any. And okay, we had these other places, but you had to look for them, and their lines were so full that it would take forever to get anything. And we were standing in line to a baked potato place, like a full baked potato, and they were out of potatoes. They were out. They had no idea when they were going to get more. So if they would say they're out, they're out. So what's the point of having the place there? If you're going to have an all-day thing, like the entire weekend, if you're going to have turkey legs and potatoes, I mean, you got to have all these things planned. You got to have it planned, because you're expecting 100 or more people, up to 1,000 people, to travel through the Renaissance Festival in that time. That place was crowded. It wasn't as much fun as it was when I first went there, because there was less interaction there. there was less. I mean, it's like they just decided, okay, we're just gonna hire street performers and have them beg for money at the end. And some of the entertainment was fine, but yet it could have been better. And like I said, we went to Dave and Buster's after we went to Bass Pro Shops and got the paddle. Um, I also got a couple things for Kira, but one of them is pretty much destroyed. And like as soon as she got it, it was a rope with a chew deal on it. That's kind of stuffed with a rope through it. She literally destroyed that thing. She figured, I mean, it was made out of tough materials. Like, you know, I couldn't even like grip it and squeeze it all the way down. And yet, where I work, I had to do that all the time, so I get a good grip. And I figured that she wouldn't be able to tear this apart. I was wrong. Within an hour after coming home, I walk outside after I gave her two new toys, which I'll mention another one here soon, because I'm going to have to go out there and take care of her here pretty quick. But to see if she didn't destroy that one. Because I'm always worrying about any time I buy her a toy, and I brought this up before. If I buy her a toy, it's got to be a toy she actually likes. I mean, she likes the pig toy, she likes the bone toy that I bought her, but it's not exactly a bone, it just looks like a bone. She has that buried pretty much in every single corner of her pin. The pig gets thrown pretty much everywhere. The other toy is a bit of a squeaker because, like I said before, she hates squeakers. But this is the kind of squeaker she has to work for, because it's made out, like I said, made out of tough material. But apparently, based on how it looks, she seems to like it. Excuse me. It's a deer. My sister picked it up. I found it in one of the deals, and she picked it out and was like, pick it up, grab a deer. Because I was like asking her, like, why don't you pick out a toy for Kira? And I think she'll like it. She picked out the deer, and the deer, for some reason, seems to be Kira's favorite toy right now. I had actually took both toys and put them in her doghouse, in her igloo doghouse. And the first one, like I said, she literally destroyed. But when it came to the deer, it seemed like the red dragon toy that she picked out when she was 2 months old, not long after I got her. She kept it in her doghouse majority of the time. Yesterday was probably, I got the paddle again. I can't stop messing with this damn thing. She would pretty much walk in and out of her pen with it. It's like I noticed how she was walking around. She'd walk in and out of her pen with the deer. She would pick it up, put it down, walk around, pick it back up, take it to her doghouse, pick it back up again as she walks out. And sometimes she'll keep it buried in the back of her igloo of her doghouse. She really loves that toy. I mean, she kept her eye on me. Like when I took the toy away from her when I was playing with her yesterday, she gave me a look. You better give me that toy, or I'll bite you. No, she won't bite me, but she'll tackle the living daylights out of me. I thought, like, I don't know if I brought this up before, but I thought she would be around 80 pounds. She's actually 68 pounds. About a 70-pound lab. I thought she would be a lot bigger. She would weigh a lot bigger than that, but no, she's 68 pounds. But all in all, I had a lot of fun hanging out with my sister and getting to talk and see her roommate. And her roommate has a cat and a pit bull mix, a pit bull boxer mix. And apparently, he does not like people. He's very protective of their apartment, and he's quite sneaky with nipping. He doesn't like. He will bite if you end up not paying attention to him, which means it will take time. It took, like my sister told me, it took him 3 weeks to get used to her. The cat, on the other hand, very approachable. She does not like to be picked up, but she's very approachable. I'm not a fan of cats. I don't like them. I could deal with kittens when they're small, but I just do not like cats. I don't like them. If I had a girlfriend who had a cat, I would deal with it because why? I got a girlfriend. That's why. And plus, I can't do anything because she'll paddle me. But so, uh, a dog, on the other hand, would literally try to stare me down, and I wasn't going to back down from him. So anytime he attempted to get close, to stare me down, to do anything, I would stare him down back. I wouldn't back down to him, and he'd get really, really close. And I wasn't worried about him. I mean, if he did try anything, I would pin him to the floor. Wouldn't actually hurt him because he's a rescue, but I would pin him to the floor and let him know that I don't like. I should like. Some people might take it the wrong way, but when I did this to my friend's dog, around the time he had lost his sight, when I first showed up at his place after he had lost his sight, and he had a seeing eye dog named Donner, another black lab who's about 100 pounds, and he's like I guess I was told he was like 10 years old now. He's probably 11. He's probably close to 11. When he got so rowdy and so rambunctious, he wouldn't listen to anybody. He kept bumping into me and being all excited, being a dog, but yet going a little too far, especially being in the house. So I had put my hand on the back of his head, and I had pushed down. Not forcibly, I just pushed down. And it's like one of those things, like, hey, this is a lesson. I'm teaching you a lesson. You should calm down. And as I did this, I said, calm down. And I held him there for about 3 to 5 minutes. And, are you calm? And he'd look at me, and he's like, he's got these sad little eyes, these little puppy dog eyes, like, did I mess up? Was I bad? These sad, adorable eyes. And after that, he was totally fine. That's the thing. You got to know how to raise a dog. You got to know how to raise a dog and treat a dog right. And there's a lot of people out there who don't know how to raise a dog, who treat the dog wrong, who don't raise the dog correctly, who abuse it. And I understood this, and seeing how he has a habit of going after the hands, I kept my hands away from him, but I didn't back down to him when he would stare me down or get in my face. And it's it's one of those things. I mean, he's basically a baby. Like, in a way, he's a baby. But he does have these things that especially my sister, I guess, or his owner, his mom, doesn't like. He's being a bit too aggressive when someone new comes in, or being a bit nippy with people. But that's the thing. My Kira's friend, the only canine she's friends with, my neighbor's dog, he's a rescue. I'm thinking that he's a pit bull lab mix because he has a body of a pit bull or a lab. No, I would say a pit bull, but yet he kind of has a resemblance of a lab besides his head, or it could be a pit bull a boxer mix. But all I know is that he's a mix. But he doesn't like male dogs very well. But him and Kira get along very, very well, and he's getting used to me. But I wouldn't, try to pet him or anything. I'd have to earn that respect. So he knows me. He knows I mean no harm, but I still know that if he wants me to pet him, he will come and ask for it. So he's like 10, 11 years old. He's getting to the point where he can't stay out in the sun for very long. He's getting old. But then from Saturday on to Sunday, got up early, went ahead and got everything loaded. My sister helped me pack my truck up. Um, we went to a breakfast place that I can't seem to remember. Dave and Buster's was a lot of fun. I can't remember the name of the brunch place we ate at, but it was the food wasn't bad. The food wasn't bad. The service could have been better. The money, it costed like $40 for the two of us. It's probably the cheapest place we ate at. We went to Cabela's. That's where the aquarium videos and the other thing that came from. The cell phone videos that actually turned out pretty well. Last time I did a cell phone video and uploaded it, turned out to a big pile of crap thanks to YouTube. So, glad those two videos came out alright. I took my time well in Cabela's and walked around, you know. Went up the elevator, went to the other upstairs area, found some pretty nice things, and bought a couple of t-shirts there. And I think I bought a cup there as well. I bought a small little Yeti cup or whatever. And at Dave & Buster's, I won a small. After all, I ended up like probably the only one with the most points, the most ticket points. I had like 1,600 and something, which might not seem about much, but excuse me. It's one of those things where you have to spend the entire night there to get anything worthwhile. Because last time I was there, you were able to get a PS4 for like 3,000 tickets. I think some like 3 to 5,000 tickets from the last time I was there, which was probably when I was still living at home. That was probably the only times, like probably when I was like 18 or so, you know, and whatnot. I think that was probably the only time I could remember that I was there, so it was a long time ago. But while I was there, I got a coffee mug, which I think I can show you. Paddle fell again. This, if I walk into the light here, this is the cup I bought at Cabela's. It's a little camouflaged Yeti cup. One of the cups I got from Dave & Buster's was like a little bit of a globe with a crazy straw. I also bought something for my dad. It had his name and bar on the end of it. It's like one of those little plaque deals at Bass Pro that I think I got, where I got it from. So I thought it was nice that I would buy my dad something, and I couldn't really. I thought my mom would appreciate the little plastic globe cup, and so I gave her that. But this is the other cup that I bought that I didn't really buy, but I got with my tickets. It's a little glass cup. Great for scotch, I guess I should say. But the last time I had scotch was at my friend's place. So, and the other one, some gamers might appreciate, is this one. Power Up with Dave & Buster's. It's got a PS4 controller. I'd prefer Xbox, but I am thinking about getting a PS4 or one of the older generation games, so I could play the like PS2 or PS3, so I could play the rest of the, like at least the first 3 of Fatal Frame, because if I was to play Fatal Frame 4, I would need an English patch, and I think that's a process that's gonna suck. So yeah, this isn't gonna be like one of them small part videos, like it's gonna be da 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 da. So it's gonna be all one solid vlog that I'm doing right now, if you guys got to the end of it. So I think I'm done enough talking for right now. I got some editing to do. So I will see you guys in the next vlog. So bye bye.